Hi, it's Eugene Ebner. I'm at the Galleria Theater at the Denver Center of the Performing Arts with the one and only Annaleigh Ashford. Hi, Annaleigh.
Hi, oh, it's so good to see you.
This is just amazing to be sitting with you.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're sitting at the Denver Center at the gallery. I mean, the last time that you and I really got to spend quality time together was at the Boulder Center Theater in
Paint your wagon.
Paint Your Wagon in like 2002.
Mm-hmm.
We also did a really stellar recording together of
Wonder
Suddenly
Woman.
Seymour and Wonder Woman. And there was a time in Eugene's life where he was killing it as Wonder Woman, and I was there for it.
And she was a background singer.
With
Can
Joni
you believe
Bayette.
that? With
We were
Joni
like,
Bayette.
Wonder Woman! That's literally how high we were belting.
And now I'm sitting here interviewing you after all of your success.
Oh, that's
Tony
so sweet.
nominated, Kinky Boots, You Can't Take It With You on Broadway, Betty on Masters of Sex on Showtime. What does this feel like for you?
Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to come home and spend some time with my family and also be surrounded by so many beautiful friends. We're really excited to come and bring Lost in Stars back to Denver because it's such an extension of my heart, an extension of who I am as a person, and so many beautiful people in this city have shaped me, not just as a performer, but as a person, and I'm happy to open my heart and give back to them.
Well, I can see that throughout the journey. I've been watching you, from afar, and also seeing the shows in New York and going backstage to see you. But Annaleigh, you haven't changed. You're so the same loving, wonderful, kind, humble human being.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And to
That
me,
means so
that's
much.
what it's about, and I just want to acknowledge that because a lot of people will start to have success in their life, whatever field they're in, but especially in show business, and they'll start to, I feel, kind of have an attitude or lose who they are, and I don't see that with you.
You're so sweet. I feel like I had amazing training here in Denver, and I learned very early on that my favorite performers were always most curious, enthralled, and cared most about the work. And the intention of the work was to do good work. And I always think that makes for the most interesting performer. I also got to spend a lot of time in some dressing rooms with some magical Denver theater folk. And they taught me how to be a really good dressing room mate. So.
Well, and a shout out to Sue Leeser.
Oh, Susie Leeser was my theater Jewish grandmother.
Yes.
Honorary. I actually got to spend some time on the phone with Susie yesterday, and she gave me my start in the theater.
She did.
I auditioned for Sound of Music at the Country Dinner Playhouse, and I ended up getting a call back. But the only reason I got a call back is because Susie Leeser was in the audition room, and she walked out and said, "Does Annaleigh have a mother?" My mom raised her hand, and then she told us about Ruthless the musical at the theater on Broadway, and that was my very first show. And Mara Davi actually got the part that I auditioned for in The Sound of Music at the Country Dinner Playhouse. And Mara Davi and I, she is a Broadway star. She's so gifted and talented. We are very good friends. We actually hung out last week in New York.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So fellow Denver theater folk.
Right. Being back in Denver, it's like this huge welcoming for you.
Oh, it's
Homecoming.
I have to tell you, I couldn't be more grateful for everybody's love, not just coming home, but through the years I've had so much support from so much of my beautiful family and also my family of friends.
Well, and speaking of the journey itself, a lot of people, I think, when they graduate from college or they graduate from high school and they want to go to New York to pursue a career, I don't think people sometimes realize how you have to pay your dues and the time and the hard work. I know for you, it was almost like a 10-year journey to really even get to the place that you are right now.
Absolutely. I got my equity card at the Country Dinner Playhouse before I left for college, and I went to Marymount Manhattan College, which was in New York City. So I spent I graduated a year early from college, so that 3 years of college I spent auditioning, going to EPAs and chorus calls, and I never got called back for anything except for one callback that I got from Jerry Mitchell for Hairspray. In 3 years, I got one callback. So most people would just kind of go, "I'm not into this. This is not happening." But I just kept going and kept plugging along. And
Persistence
and also faith. I had great faith, and God really opened so many doors for me, and I really had faith in that persistence. I ended up winning the Clarence Derwin Award, which is an award that they give to an actor and an actress every year from the Actors Equity Association. and it was in the Equity Building, and it was right after we had opened Kiki Boots. Actually, it was I found out I got it a couple days after we opened, and then I actually received the award the day after the Tonys, and Jerry Mitchell presented the award to me, and it was really sweet. It was in a really small room in the Equity Building, and I remember kind of sharing the story of all the auditions that I went to in that same building, and I couldn't even get a call back, and it just makes me even more grateful for any kind of acknowledgement that I've received, but most of all, makes me so grateful for every job that I have. I'm just really lucky and grateful to be a working actor.
I think gratitude is a huge piece, and that shows with you.
Absolutely. I mean, faith and gratitude are paramount in a business that could get you wrapped up in so many things that are the opposite. It could be a very shallow business. It could be a very selfish business.
Right.
So I feel like that is the ultimate challenge of the actor, in a career.
It's definitely the focus that you put into it, where you want to put your energy, right?
Absolutely. I think, you have a choice to focus on yourself, or you have a choice to focus on the work. And it's always healthier for the brain and the spirit
Right.
to just focus on the work.
Well, and I've seen that with you. Both roles of seeing you on Broadway, you really truly do become the character. It's amazing. And you
so
inspire
sweet.
people, and that's what our show's about. It's to inspire, educate, and entertain. Later today, we're going to be talking to a woman that's the CEO of Susan G. Komen. And I had messaged you and said, what do you really like to support when it comes to causes? And you said breast cancer.
Absolutely. We lost my grandma to breast cancer almost 7 years ago now, and it's a constant reminder that as women in this country, we need to be aware of checking ourselves, reminding each other to check ourselves, and being persistent about staying healthy. So that is so beautiful and heartwarming. We're always fighting the fight.
Right. Now, let's talk about the show, because we're here in the Galleria Theater. The show's April 11th and 12th.
Yes.
Lost in the Stars.
Yes.
Annaleigh Ashford, William Van Dyke.
Oh, I love that you called him William. He would be so honored.
Well, he's so talented as well.
He's brilliant. He's a brilliant composer and an incredible arranger. And, the show really came about quite organically. We set a date. We had a couple songs in mind. And Lost in the Stars has always been a favorite of mine. It's a beautiful Kurt Weill song that I feel like, it's a classic, but it's not as common of a classic. So I'm really happy to share that with people. And there's lots of elements of light, whimsy, fun.
And sparkle.
Lots of glitter.
I can't wait.
It starts with a 10-minute Donna Summer medley.
I love that.
We created the show in the basement space of Studio 54. The Studio 54 theater that's now owned by the Roundabout, they have a space called 54 Below.
That's perfect.
And it was the VIP room for Studio 54.
Wow, that's so cool.
That's a lot of history. There's a lot of drugs that have been done in that basement. And with the drugs that have been done in that basement, a lot of magical evenings. So
Well, there you
try
go.
to celebrate it.
So you're celebrating it with the magic, the sparkle, the music. You also have a band with you that plays.
Yes, we have the Whiskey 5 band joining us. It's really interesting sound. It's a cello, electric guitar, acoustic guitar. There's only 5 of us, but we have some accordion, we have some uke. I love a uke. Bass, of course, and drums.
Nice.
So it's an eclectic sound. We have a really eclectic song list. Judy Garland to a mashup of Sondheim and Elton John.
But that's great, the mix, the diversity.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
So you were in Chicago, you're here, you're going to be in Vegas?
Vegas and also the Venetian Room in San Francisco.
Oh, how much fun.
I know, that's a classic cabaret room, so we're excited about that too.
Awesome. And then you'll be going on to showtimes again for Masters of Sex, the character Betty?
Yes, we start filming in like a week and a half, so I'll be in LA in about a week and start prepping for that, so that'll be really
You are a busy
journey.
girl.
I know, it's crazy.
But it's awesome.
Oh, it's great. I could not be more lucky. I really am outrageously blessed to just have a job. So how about that?
Well, high five. So,
Aw, you have magic. We haven't seen each other for a really long time, for this long of a time.
I know.
We had some really funny nights at the Boulder Center
we
Theater.
even had a slumber party.
We did.
At our place.
I was like 16 going on 17, literally.
You were.
I
and
turned 17
Brian
that summer.
Mulgrave and you and I were
Love
taking
Brian
funny
Mulgrave.
pictures with wigs. And we have to do a shout out to my fiance, Paul Page.
Paul Page. Paul Page and I did West Side Story, and I was like 14 and I couldn't go to my prom, so they threw me one.
Oh, isn't that great?
Because we had a show on a Saturday night, so.
Well, I'm so glad you're here with me. I'm so glad you're here in Denver, seeing your wonderful family, your parents, your supportive friends. We can't wait to see the show. Now, for our listeners and our viewers, how can they know more about you? What's your website, social media?
I have a secret to share with you. It's not really a secret. I am really bad at social media. I'm really terrible. But I go on Twitter sometimes. I'm trying really hard to get better at it. So
It's a lot of work, social media.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is like a full-time job. You know, like, sometimes I wonder why people are like this all the time. It's because there's literally 5 different applications. It's not just your email and your text messages now. You have to, like, commit to your Facebook page, to your Twitter handler, to your Instagram, to your punanana.com. Like, what else is new? Snapchat is new. My sister was like, look at Snapchat.
Right.
What is that? What is that?
And you're
I don't know
probably
what that is.
way better off than me because I'm a little bit of a social media obsessed person.
Are you?
A
Well, then
little
you
bit.
can help me. Eugene's going to help me. So
Maybe
I
I'll
have
take
Twitter.
that on for you.
Yes, he'll tweet my Twitter stuff. He'll do that, so then
Right.
you'll know how to follow me on Twitter. Because I tweet sometimes, and then there should be you can if you Google Lost in the Stars, Annaleigh
Lost in the
Ashford,
Stars.
you can find out where to find us. And what else? I'm on Showtime, so that's cool.
Showtime, Betty.
Yeah, you can find me on Showtime.
So check that out, everybody.
Halfway through the summer, we'll be starting the new season, the 3rd season.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's it.
Well, thank you for being with me today,
Oh, my
Annaleigh.
pleasure. I love you.
adore you, and I can't wait to see you on the red carpet at the Academy Awards.
Oh my God, you're
Because
so
that's what I vision that for you.
You're
When I see
sweet.
these award shows, I'm like, Annaleig's gonna be there. You've already been at the Tonys.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. You know what
You-
I have to say to that? Wonder Woman!
See, now you got to go check out Wonder Woman Eugene Ebner and hear Annaleigh do backgrounds.
I do. Well, he's like Wonder Woman. I don't even remember the song, but then we'd be like Wonder Woman.
And do you remember?
Me and Joni Grant belting our vaginas off.
Right? And speaking of that, in the song it's make the liars tell the truth, and I would say make the lions tell the truth.
That's so
and
much
you
better.
and Annaleigh, or you or Annaleigh, excuse me, you
Me
and
and
Joni, see? You and Joni had to go, it's not the lions, it's the liars.
But I like the lion. How about Joni Bayette has like one of the most epic belts I've ever heard in my life, and I've heard
She
a lot
does.
of belts.
Very much,
So listen to
very
that.
talented.
It's a nice, pingy, beautiful, bright belt mix.
Well, now that, see, this is what I love about Annaleigh, now that she's just completely marketed me, but it's about you.
And Joni.
And Joni.
Shout out to Joni's vocal prowess.
Yes.
Do you like I brought prowess, lion?
You brought it right
I
back.
love you.
I love you. Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
You wake up early and kiss me goodbye. I come home late and slip by your side. You dream of new days while I dream up a rhyme to say I love you